Hey, and welcome to the CirclesCast. My name is King Charmaine, and today I have a very special guest with me.
ZIGO
Captain Mfombi, everybody.
Captain Mfombi. Atinokutendana nekuti chingamidza pachirongwa chenyu. Chirongwa chedu antu ndichenyu chirongwa chedu but circles ndeyenyu. Maize tina King Charmaine pana maraika mambo Shamila. Tiri muchirongwa ichocho tinge chora nyaya dzinodakadza dzinonakidza dzinobowa dzinochemedza nedzinoitisa nzara. Naika.
Shamila is crazy business though.
But zviriko?
No.
Ndura kora nasi.
Alright.
Rakuri madunuriro wara nasi.
Time out.
Andika.
Yeah.
Ayo,
let's go inside.
Alright, so pinda mkati. Oyo.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Oh. Put on the action, are you ready?
Okay. So the first question is, who is Probeatz?
Zigudura rotsika. Vanofunga kuti gondora rinostika but maya. Rotsika. Chakuzwa denzo bado mashunganyika aka Probeatz dara. Vanhu rokuteerera kundiunza muchirongwa chenyu.
Yeah, Tafara kuti mauya pano. My show is not great. Yeah.
Zvikutonesa.
So nongo ngwava.
Musati mazitora tozoona kuti show yenyu is great.
Okay. Well, thank you, Probeatz, for coming to the CircleCast.
Rokutenda nekudedza kwamaitawo. Tinofara.
Kufara kuve pano here.
Kufara. Uchiona makamera akabaka kudai malights chichichi. Saturday afternoon. We like it.
We like it. And people like you. So how would you describe yourself as a creative? Because you're a rapper, you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're an actor, you're a beatboxer. How would you quantify Probeatz and describe him for me?
Hey, I'm as real as they come. Didn't you pay you? Didn't reality, you know. You know, there's so much to say about who I am and what I do, right? But choka ndachongoti andinombozezvotora zvakawanda. Imbudoziya zvipi chaizvo.
All right, so you've got different talents, right? But what would you say is the thing that really broke you into the entertainment industry?
The beatboxing.
The beatboxing, yeah?
The beatboxing and the dancing. Because dancing got me into these spaces where I started exploring and then, you know, meeting other creatives, my producer, my rappers, my dancers, modeling, you know. So it got me into those spaces, and then, you know, it gave me an advantage to start collaborating with all these other people, you know. Because until now, I want to show, oh, you can beatbox, oh, you can dance.
Your beatboxing is crazy. How did you figure out that you can beatbox?
Sometimes in life you just need to let your intrusive thoughts win.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what happened with beatboxing. Because it started in I didn't even know I was beatboxing then. You know, I would just make weird sounds, animal sounds, car sounds, mimic songs.
People didn't think you were weird.
Of course.
They thought you were weird, right?
Yeah. They think you're weird. But when I'm in a class, always go petsira. Kunogara mageva kwekwe. You know, utongoita kana munhu anotori serious in class but kana sound Dutch kaurunzwe. Zidena daro anizocheuka. Abe ndo wagara kopedzira ndemba ndatocheuka kuti hanzikuziva ndena daro, you know what I mean? But I started going to my talent shows even in high school. I remember going to my first ever talent show in high school, you know. I remember getting booed off the stage.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was kind of sad, but I didn't care.
Because a lot of people would like want to give up after that. Like you're trying something and then people don't affirm it, then you're like, okay, maybe let me not do it. What made you keep going after that?
I didn't care about what people think.
Yeah.
And I still don't care about what people think. The people that I care about are the people that actually support what I do. You know what I mean? Kuti iwe 5 iwe 10 iwe 100 iwe 1000 iwe pa vanenge varipo vacho vanenge vati zvakuita tikunakirwa nazo, we need more of that. That's what I focus on. I don't focus on the negativity. So from a very young age, I didn't even know what I wasn't focusing on the negatives. The negativity is equal, you know. I still have the same energy now, you know. Saka ipa pacho plus I didn't even have a mic. Kwangu sina mic, you know. I think ngorongo ni club ma form 6 ma form 5 and they're like, you know, I ngathi ngo or ka talent show, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went there, I did my thing, but people were just looking at me like, what is he doing? What do we just say? You know. But what's actually crazy is that after that, I had more and more people coming and saying, yo, beatbox for us, we want to rap. Beatbox for us because we want to dance. You know, I'm going to my Bluetooth speaker, there's only I'm going to walk me and a Discman and go to piece. So I didn't do the Discman and I
How would you describe? I'm very fascinated with your beatboxing because, like, I think when I first heard you, that was the thing that I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. And then you know, it's a radio because you literally sound like the track. So I don't know if beatboxing, I don't want to assume, but I don't think it's as popular in Zimbabwe as it would be outside of the country. How would you describe the beatboxing community?
People probably think I'm the only beatboxer in Zimbabwe because I'm probably the one who commercialized it, you know. But before I even came in, there were beatboxers here that I used to see doing their thing. He goes by the name Verseless now, but Gudara is Philo.
Yeah.
He was a beatboxer, do you know that? He's still a beatboxer.
Really?
Like every time
yes, actually I do,
yeah, exactly. So every time I go for my studio sessions now, he still does beatboxing, you know. And there was this guy, Quotable. His name was Quotable, but yeah, he stopped doing it. He's now doing Family Life, I guess. And then there was someone else. I'm forgetting the name, but Madeze Haifa. You know, that's when I met them. You know, she was good in my beatboxing workshops, you know. So the thing is, I started getting into these big events, you know, and then started touring as well. And then I remember doing Kuyenda Productions. It was a project that was facilitated by Plot Marco and the German Society, you know. After that, things just took off, you know. People started paying attention to what it was and what it meant, you know. But when I go up on a beatboxer, my little sister beatboxes.
Really?
Well. Her name is Tasha BX. She's an amazing vocalist.
Yeah.
And if Ugamun's got a beatboxer, hey, it's crazy. Even my little brother, the smallest one, I know beatboxer food.
So your family is a family of beatboxers?
It's a family of creatives, not just beatboxers, because they dance, they can act, you know. Saka, it's actually hard to trust Munwe, but then because you don't know if they're acting or if they're telling the truth, because it is a creatives.
Being a creative is great now, and I think people are starting to understand how you can monetize from that. But like from like a younger generation, our younger generation, you'd be advised to like be a lawyer, be a doctor, because that's how you make money. How would you say, because your family is a family of creatives, how would you say that like your home environment kind of incubated and facilitated you being a creative now?
I feel like we just laid back about everything. It's like, yo, do what you want. We're not going to force you to do what you do not want. Because I know a lot of kids that forced to go and then they ended up crashing out, you know. But in the theory, you know, you know, because maybe money is going to school, you know. But I feel like there is more to be explored in this world. The series of lawyer, doctor, I think it's very important to have a certificate, doctor, or lawyer, or you know. And I feel like even watching my doctor, and my lawyer, and my engineer, there's always a creative somewhere inside that person. Yeah. You know, if you try to look at one supporter music, kajinji, or people that are like critics, you know, vanhu vanotofarira music, or vanhu vanotoita zvemusic, or someone akamboita zvemusic zvakaramba, or whatever it is, there's a creative within someone. Yeah. You know, so my parents just allowed me to explore that. Like, yo, do your thing. You know, my father wanted me to be a footballer. You know, because they were bora as well. He wanted me to be a footballer, but every time I'd go kunotamba bhora and then kana competition yekuchikoro kana kuti china tongodzoka ndakatongokwara, you know, saka bhora ritongondiudza kuti hawangosiyana nesu. You know, so I ended up just gravitating towards the creative, you know, side of me.
And then how did you transition from being a beatboxer to being a musician where you're singing and you're rapping?
If you try to look at all the times that I beatbox on stage, you know, making the beat, making the melody, making the symphonies, all at the same time. So it wasn't really difficult to like transition into, you know, the rapping and, you know, singing, you know, making melodies. I mean, I write for other people, I make songs for other people as well. You know? You may never know because of contract language. I find out this year a song. You know, because you know badaro, so I'm going But it wasn't really difficult to transition because I understand music. Zinguri natural, you know, I can tell you what this song this song may not be popular, but this is a very good song. And I feel like Panama songs they want to say, hey, song is not popular, but song you know. So I understand music to that degree. I can understand what it beat in the hip hop. So I you know, it may not be me rapping or singing on it, but I can actually tell you what let's do it. So it wasn't really difficult to transition. And the time I'm a producer, I remember my first ever recording session, intentional, was with my clean beats, because we were making beats. We used to link up and I would make samples, and then you digitalize it with some machine in it. I was not on my computer, so I didn't really understand how to do that. So we'd make beats, So this one time I was like, bro, I heard you mumbling some stuff. Why don't you put that into writing? That's when we made a song, and it's a very limited edition. You know? We made that song, we were just playing around, and that song blew up, bro. We're like, let's do another one. So it wasn't really difficult to transition because I do it because I actually love it. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to do it. I'm doing it because I can actually do it and I love doing it. It's passion. That's what keeps me going. And I feel free when I'm doing it. I feel alive when I'm doing it. So yeah.
How did you feel the first time you had a national hit? The first time when you're like, okay, this song has blown up, this song is on the charts. How did you feel? How did you receive that? Knowing that like you can actually make a living from this and the nation actually acknowledges your gift.
It's crazy because I had always been a performing artist, not a recording artist. You know, so recording something and then putting something, shoot it a record, and then people respond to you like, hey, chinchaga ipa ichiro. Because I wasn't trying to make a hit song. I'll be honest with you, I was not trying to make a hit song. We were just in the studio, we were just playing around with it. Like until now, but the vibe with it. One way Fadira, you know, like it's a song until now, when you know, like until now, it's probably one of the most played songs on my DSPs. You know that song here, like even when you travel, people identify you with that song. You know, it's either Captain Mfombi or that song. You know, people love that song. So it's not my favorite song, to be honest. It's not my favorite song. Yeah, it's a good song, but it's not my favorite song, I'll be honest. Yeah. Because I didn't even write that song. We were just sitting in the studio. So I've noticed that my songs I used to make a song I'm like literally just making beats or we're playing beats and then I just start mumbling or just freestyling on it and then, you know. So it was one of those because until now it's not even my favorite song. But people love it. People love it. So I mean I was grateful, to be honest. I was grateful. But for that kind of mbiri, you're like, okay, cool. Because the song you're like Buddha, Nastum na license, Nasana driver. Imagine farm road and song you know, you're like, yo, that's my song, bro. Like people actually bumping to my tunes. So it was nice, man. It was nice. I mean, it was bittersweet, to be honest, because obviously kana uri munhu ane mbiri zvinouya necriticism yakuti certain expectations uri celeb ko tagara nemukombi ingoma rako ingoma rangu munhu wakutopiwa interview wagara pakadoma wakaiza because zvinenge wabvarira 50 cents wakutopiwa interview unabvarira $1 azvinhu zvacho
but I think that's why people love you, because you're humble, you're relatable, you're not somebody that's far-fetched. Like, if people can see you, they can talk to you. You don't have like that superstardom, and that's what people love. People like someone who they can relate to.
Bro, I'm just another guy from the hood. I don't go budikira, you know, because when I was like, I need to take a chingwe, like, go to a picture, like, I'm Zara. Like a cool, like a picture, they show them like a picture. My pajama, I'm Zadar. Oh, guns, I told a picture. Because, you know, you're trying to, you know, because I feel like when I try some ghetto jamoga, 80% of the young boys that are in there are either trying to be a footballer or a musician.
Yeah.
So when they look at you, they're looking at an idol. You know what I mean? So you have to think a certain way, you have to act a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to speak a certain way for them to maintain that kind of, you know, image about you, you know what I mean? And I try not to do that because I'm literally just another boy trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm also trying to feel like, boys, Twitter say
we're all trying to figure it out.
We're all trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? But obviously, exposure, I didn't go now because I've traveled. I think I've probably traveled enough to actually understand good. Okay, it's straight as a day, so you have to be on time. This is how you release a song. This is how you distribute a song. This is how you hold a mic. This is how you speak to the crowd. This is how you chichichi. And I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? So, but no chance to share hours or no share on my team rango. I get to do that. But yeah, man. It's very interesting to be me, man.
Yeah.
Very interesting to be me. I feel like I should have a day where it's just like a POV of Probeatz.
Yeah, do that.
Ndikaudza vanhu zvinhu zvandosangana nazvo. Unotoshoka, you know, because unosangana vanhu ukutodhila nelife. Ukutodhila nelife and pamwe watoponjerwa nevhiri watochila pepo kamirire munhu arikuya nespeu. Mumwe munhu akutoti amira tombopaka patombotorwa picture ine like wangu. Relax. But yeah, man, it's exciting. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because kubatsira even pane zvimwe zvekuti unganosvika bato nezilining kana rina 50 wadopinda wadopinda obotongoni kwari mlanzi Probeatz uyapinda oinini abo ndakatopinda bebe, you know. So yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Yeah. I wouldn't say a blessing in disguise because it's a blessing.
No, it's a visible blessing.
It's a blessing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So now fast forwarding to now, you just released a song called Phenominal. What inspired it?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal is a song that talks about. It's a song that talks about not giving up. You know, I feel like everyone is a phenomenal being. You know, because you can't be an NPC in your own life. You know, everyone is the main character.
Period.
Do you understand? Everyone is the main character.
Yeah.
You know. Whatever it is, but you are still the main character, bro. You know, you gotta stay the main character, and you need to stay focused, eyes on the prize. But we're not where we were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't recognize you right now, they will.
Yeah.
They will catch up. Everybody's gonna play catch up at some point.
Yeah.
But we're all phenomenal beings. We're doing phenomenal things. Let's keep being phenomenal. That's what the song is.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I heard that the track was leaked before it was released. What kind of setback did you experience from that?
To be honest, I don't think it was a setback. I feel like I had mixed emotions about it when I found out. Because imagine you're just going on about your day, plan out how to release a ngoma. Radio XNX. You're like, what? Wait, what? Song is that master, bro? And then I release a song.
Crazy.
You know? But yeah, I don't go deep in that. I don't tag a DJ. I would
That is crazy.
And I feel like I hadn't released anything in a very long time as well, you know, because I feel like with every creative, there's a time you know, on the writer's block or creative block or whatever it is, where you just don't feel like creating anything, you know. But I never have those kind of times. I have times where I don't feel like interacting or releasing anything or whatever it is, you know, because I feel like there's a lot of negativity on social media. There's a lot of negativity onosanganayo, especially in tongotongoro umuntu like bro, I'm just going on about my life, you know. So try to avoid as my comments, so you end up not releasing anything or posting anything. If you look at my page, no one will since no post, not because I'm not that, but I'm sure it has you know, no one can picture but when we post out and a caption, even if I caption it like this, someone is gonna say something that's gonna, you know, no to that fight. Because in I'm going to tower. You know, you can tell her by internet now to share. Send the address to pay that. No, I'm just playing. No, but I'm also not. Send the address to pay that. That's gonna not see as my show. How do you deal with negativity on social media? Like for your mental health in terms of being a creative, because you're fueled by your drive and your passion, but then at the same time also you want to be sure that like what you're giving to people is received. And when you meet up with negativity, it as much as you can be strong and have like a wall of defense, it can affect you in some way. And mental health is very important. So how do you deal with that? I feel like in life you just need one or two people that you trust, that you can confide in. I know it's very difficult because internet, whatever it is. But I feel like everyone goes through something daily, you know. It may be negative energy, you know. That's not something you should go on social media and say, you know, there are people that can actually do it, and the people that can handle it. But I'll tell you this in life. So I've got negative and positive with reback.
I love that.
You know, negative and positive with reback. So it's how you take it. You know, it's how you take it. I don't need drugs, I don't need a duro, I don't need negative energy and into the studio. I need to record that because you've got that positivity within you. I'm gonna make it. But there's someone saying you won't make it. You can use that as energy. Say, okay, I'm not going to studio. To prove to your haters that you can. You know what I mean? Prove to your haters that you can, you know? So, like I said, I always try to ignore that negativity, you know? Sometimes I ignore it by just not being accessible. You know what I mean? No, not ndikutokuoneza mungita nditozori muri bo ndaona status yako saka uri mpenyu apana bwacha upload status uri mgomba uri mgrave uri 6 feet uri bo ndatozoona andinoona nda upload yangu. It's fine, we don't have to talk. If you are fine, I'm fine. Tribo patosangana ipapo totaura, you know. We are G. So ndokudila kwandita nayo negative energy. Not because I'm through guns and or whatever it is, but sometimes you just be dealing with life. You have to deal with all those things because I'm also human before the Probeatz, you know. Before Probeatz, I'm also human, so I get to deal with what I need to deal with. But negativity, as I'm going to remind us. But when you don't talk on internet, I must tell you something now. Now, I'm going to try green not right. Tinaje matambo. Muswakati wakati jagati warone.
Right. So I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that. But to people that think that you're not going to make it, you performed at one of the biggest events in Zimbabwe, the Namas, and it was an amazing performance. The creative director, hats off to them. Like the fusion of the different creatives coming together, and that performance was just amazing. How did it feel performing on that big stage, and what was the creative process like?
Shout out, man, JCMC, Martin Chabuka, and everyone that made it possible. You know, when they called me for the Namas, I didn't even know what to expect. You know, I was like, what should you even go do my Namas? Because I wasn't even nominated. I'm not going to present an award or whatever. So you know, And then got there with these amazing artists, you know, what's her name? This girl came saying, normally I don't cheat. But you think, oh, you putting my heart on lockdown. I really love that song. Hey, sorry, I'm forgetting your name. I'm school DB, so I'm forgetting your name. Oriano, Nyasha David, you know, all these people, you know, just getting into that space where, you know, they know what they're doing and they're really good, you know. That made me feel good as well. I'm also here, you know what I mean? So that means I'm also good. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was some sort of affirmation. But okay. So I took you know, and then we got the script and they told us what we needed to do, you know, because it was very difficult because I normally just go on stage and then I freestyle, look at everyone, I'm like, you know, that's how I normally do it.
Yeah.
But that whole experience, bro, just working with those people, like, it felt like team it was amazing. It was amazing being part of a team. And it was my first time attending the Namas as well. I had worked with the Namas before. I remember I did like a cameo as Captain Mfombi, you know, but I remember just recording, but I had to leave the city because Penny was under it elsewhere. But the atmosphere was crazy, the sound, the fashion, you know, the people that were there, you know, the lights, everything. And it was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I enjoyed it.
It
And I feel like it was a great performance as well. You know, they were selling more because there's a show that we used to do now, selling more, and we're still gonna do it sometime this year. And it's Beats and Strings as well. It felt like a reunion of some sort, you know. And then there was Danielson doing his saxophone thing as well. And then there was this guy Togolosh. You know, he was also doing his thing. Like even the rehearsals as well. Like it was amazing. I feel like I enjoyed the creative process more than the performance itself. You know, performance on top, but you know, and then just seeing everyone saying, "Oh, that was crazy, that was amazing," and I felt like I wasn't given time or space. I was given what to do, but people were still like, wow. And I was like, oh, Managiro.
Yeah.
Bo, there is more.
Yeah.
But it was amazing, man. It was amazing.
So you mentioned Captain Mfombi.
Yes.
What inspired that? That is hilarious, by the way. But it's so Marvel needs to find you. Because it's so creative, it's so different, it's so relatable, but it's a superhero. What inspired that? That's really cool.
You know, if you look at that, it's not just a comedy show. It's not just a comedy skit, to be honest, because there's so many messages that are within that Captain Mfombi. Because we're talking about real life issues, real life situations. You know, there's obviously a love story in there. Captain Mfombi, when I'm boys, you know, you've got all these powers and whatever. So Captain Mfombi speaks about a young boy living in the projects who's got all these powers, but he doesn't know what to do with them. You know, it's not about the power that you have, it's about knowing what to do with the powers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a progression. You go, okay, I know discover, and then at some point, you know, it's not I'm sorry. There's this ego, like you know, you know what I mean? And then we talk about my situations. I know to come my relationships. What's happening with Finn? Less privileged as well. But you have to get from point A to point B. You have to make sure that people eat. You know, you're a man. You know, but whatever it is. Yeah. So I feel like it's just an African story. It's a general African story. It's an African story, but we needed to make sure that we adapt to what's going on right now because people are watching King Captain America, people are watching The Flash, people are watching, you know, all these other things. So why not take what they are watching and put our message within that?
Yeah.
You know, because I remember there was a time when we used to go to schools to preach about early pregnancies, anti-drug abuse, and, you know, sexual education and all that, all those other things. I feel like my message was tagara chapiwa kuchikoro. But pegonongo murume anenge akapfeka suit onge podium oti, yeah, don't do drugs. But why are we not doing drugs? You know what I mean? You need to make them understand why they're not doing drugs, and also put the message in a way that they enjoy listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
They watch it, they get the message better if you tell them in a way they understand. You know, just like what people are doing with gospel now, gospel music. There's gospel hip hop, there's gospel Afro beats, there's gospel chichi. You need to make someone understand why church can be fun. You know, so that's what we were trying to do with Captain Mfombi. We were trying to put the message across, but in a way that's like edutainment more than just education. So you know.
Yeah. I seen you posted recently like a recap of the previous season.
Yeah.
And there's a new season that's coming. What can we expect from that one?
Yeah, because we'd been creating, writing the script, and, you know, cooking the dialogue and everything, getting everyone together, and then also getting sponsorship, you know, which is very important, because with all the people that get to put their time on project, they also gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? So we managed to get a couple of sponsors. So Captain Mfombi is definitely coming back, and I'm excited about that.
Can I have a cameo in the show?
Yeah, of course. We
can be like,
a villain.
Do you know what? If you want to make me like a superhero villain, okay.
What a villain?
Yeah.
I'm a villain.
Villain. Did you superhero?
But my superhero one is a villain.
I seen a villain on the Silent Mook was a villain. Yeah.
But who the ring? No, it's fine. We'll try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm holding you accountable to that.
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'm saying that on camera. Yeah, we'll find a part for you.
Okay.
We'll make sure that happens.
And then recently, I had the honor of co-hosting your birthday celebration.
Yeah.
But it also was just like a collective of creatives coming to celebrate you straight out of Mfombi. What was that like for you? To see people gathering just to celebrate you?
It was amazing, bro. It was amazing, because I feel like it was a mission that was accomplished, you know. Because what we've been trying to do is to remove the gap between North Samora and South Samora. As funny as it was, you know, because I feel like we've got two talented sides, two gifted sides, you know, but there's a divide.
Yeah, that's actually so true. Like you're the perfect person to kind of be a bridge for those two different sides.
You know, there's a divide, you know, making sure a bag and a sign are in the same building, you know, and possibly collaborate on something, you know. I'm going to collaborate and whatever, but people need to see more of that movement. What's a relationship, you know what I mean? There's a relationship going on. As an ambassador, you couldn't get Kuna, whatever it is. Like hip hop is culture, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're supposed to bring people together, you know. It's a culture, it's a religion.
Hip hop is culture.
You know what I mean? It's a religion. So that's what I was trying to do with Straight Out Mfombi, from Mfombi to the world, you know. Because I feel like I've made a lot of friends from the north, I've made a lot of friends from the south as well. So if I can bring those people together, Usangana, and then togadzira mangoma kana tichigadzira mashows tichilinka, you know, that's what I was trying to do with that as well. So I felt like zvainetsa kuti munhu arigidze kuuya because it's my birthday, bro. Like pull up, I pulled up for your birthday, saka uya. So I took that to my advantage. I was like, yo guys, let's link up, you know. There was Holy 10, there was Bugger Music, there was Pop 10 even, because Pop 10 is not even hip-hop, but he was there. There was Tammy Moyo, she didn't perform, but you know, she was there for the whole show. There was King Charmaine, shout out to you. You were there. She was there, holding it down. And you know, there was Hit Music Empire, you know, because my friends go bro, like I've got friends all over, bro, like I've got homies here, bro. Like I'm connected like that.
Connected like that.
Connect.
Right. So since you're connected, you've worked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Holy King, San, Jah Prayzah. Is there somebody? What was the experience like collaborating with like someone who's like a mega star like Jah Prayzah, Holy 10, right? Even though they are people that you know on like a more humane level. And is there somebody that you haven't worked with that you'd want to work with in the country?
Someone that I haven't worked with that I want to work with. Hey, like I wonder,
Just give me like 2 or 3 people that you're like, this person, I want to go into the studio and make magic.
There's one person that I want to work with. But I want to work with the person there, Zimbabwean. Thomas Mapfumo.
Yeah.
Hey, imagine Thomas Mapfumo in 808.
On an 808.
Winky D, obviously.
Of
like
course.
I appreciate Winky D. You know, bro, takakura chera Winky D, takakura chera Jah Prayzah. So for me, being in the studio with Jah Prayzah, it was like, oh, man.
And try not to be a fan.
That's crazy. Yeah, just act like you've been here before, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just act like last week, you know.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It was amazing, and he's a very humble guy. Like, it doesn't make you feel like you have to, you know. And you know the way he's so open to listen to ideas. I'm coming. It was so like, yo. I'm right here, bro. Yeah. Like right now I should be having a big head because it's song na Jah Prayzah.
Okay.
But you know, I saw how he does his things. He's very humble, bro. Like he doesn't need to be working with someone like me, especially Niponungo Uchiri or Mukaria Yako. You trying to figure it out, and it's someone who looks like he's figured it out. But he's also human. You know, he makes it obvious that he's also human. He's just trying to create. You know, he's doing what he loves, and I don't know how to get to the next level and whatever, you know. So it was amazing. It was beautiful. And I feel like my mom was more excited about that more than I was. You know,
your mom is such a great support, hey? She's such a great support.
My mom,
she was in the front.
You know, there's so many times and then I hear my mom listening to my songs and I'm like,
aww.
Get out of here, man. I don't care about what you guys think. My mom is bumping my stuff right now. You know, she was so excited about it because I remember when I recorded that song, Yagaita 3 years in phone mango. You know, she would ask me about the song every day. You know, because I remember there was a time I wasn't in the country for like a year or 2. You know, perform and was Saka song, like, Mom, I'm gonna release that song. Just give it time, I'll release it. Sometimes I feel like my mom would leak a Phenominal because it doesn't make sense.
That is crazy.
Because it was her song, it's still a song before I even released that song. Like she'd always bump that song that I like.
That's beautiful.
You know, I love this song. And you know, my mom is my greatest supporter, bro. Like, you know, there's so many times we don't know what it's like, yo, you gotta do this, do that, do this, do that. And I think also her just seeing the fruits that came out of that, you know, she believes in it. It's not just urungo imba, you know what I mean? But there's so much weight that has been pulled from just being a creative. But then, you know, so she sees that and she's like, yo, I support you. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get tired.
Yeah. So, we're creatives, we love what we do, but we also like the money. How is the music industry paying you in the country? Are you able to make a living from it? Do you have to have like an extra side hustle from it? Like what's your bank balance looking like?
You wanna see?
Yeah.
But this is for your eyes only. Yeah?
Okay.
You wanna see? And I wonder.
Okay. Okay. Is that from music?
Yeah, bro. $10 from music. Yeah, a song I got last week. $10, eat 10 loaves.
Love it.
Sangu pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
$10. Yeah. Okay.
Sangu pizza.
And how have you been able to monetize? Because a lot of people, they want to be creative, but they don't understand the concept of monetizing their creativity. And also, it's unfortunate that you get to come across different brands, organizations that want to kind of heckle you from your price. How are you able to maintain what you know you deserve for the work that you put in?
I feel like the only way I've managed to maintain my creativity was to just make sure that I focus on the creativity. You know, whatever comes with it, or whatever doesn't come with it, hey, that's up to the universe, that's up to God, that's up to, you know what I mean? Because just being in the studio makes my heart beat so fast with, yo, we're living right now. Ndikatogara pano kuti magetsi akatongodzima kana nditofika depression in studio. You know, because I remember there was a time I left the country and then I was doing like theater. So what happens with theater is that it's seasonal. You know what I mean? So when you're not doing theater, you have to look for a side hustle. You know, fanango used to shift. That depressed me a lot, bro. Like, I forgot who I was. I was so stressed. You know, you know, sounds like, you know what, I need to make sure that I spend more time in the studio. I need to make sure that I spend more time in front of the camera. I need to spend more time just being around creative people, because that's what makes me tick. So what I'm just going to say about making sure that you are rewarded enough for what you work for, you know, is to make sure that you are in charge of everything that you're doing. You know, either but you need to be in the loop. Okay, taita show tagadzira mari yakati, or taita ma streams tagadzira mari yakati. You need to know all that. You know, pane paperwork okay, takasainira pakati takadaisa. Because what I know is that when you guys are just doing this because you love it, there's a passion and zvinenge zvichifire, but ngapangoita $50 inopinda my account. Yay! Yay! You know, I saw that when I was a dancer. You know, chagona kuti dance crew rinenge rine 6 gents andika ngapangopinda baby chete mukuru Iroro, my way. Makuru mazhinji akaparara, and I'm not even lying, bro. Like vanoziya vakarubva nedance kubva kudhara, you know, and it's not because mese muda baby Iroro. Pangonongota munhu one andangodana nemusikana yeye, you know, vangonongonetsana show iri kumangwana ngoti mfesi wangu arimo mugroup Iroro akandidaiso akandidai handisikuya, and maybe that girl was probably playing a major role, you know. So you need to make sure that Panama contracts, there's paperwork, you know, you need to understand the vision, where we're going, where we're coming from, what we're trying to achieve, and you need to be in a space with like-minded people as well, you know. That's why you find good even company chero ipinda babasa unofana kunyora contract, fana sign a contract, oye company yedu ikazeta mari ukazabhadara mwedzi woyo ndizvozvo, but kuramba uchitishandira. That's why it's important to have paperwork. So you need to be in the loop, you need to be educated about it as well. Unofana kuenda kuma seminar ntaura nezve music, you need to go to these workshops, you need to understand, like, don't be proud about it just because in mbiri kupisa or whatever it is, like, I don't go to a workshop, you know, because some artists don't want to rub shoulders just because kuna niingisa kandiende, but you're not going there for that whoever XX artist, you're going there for the information, because it's very important for your people, your family, your next of kin. Either you know, there's Zimura as well, you know, it's paying people, but the people don't even know, you know. Panama artist with the song again 10 million views, but I still he doesn't even know how much it's making, you know. But Angori on streets, I would have it. You know, so education is key. I say education yangonzenze nonopiwa o level A level chit. Education is wakuita izvozvo kunzi ziva kuti song unouploada say unoda, bro, you can literally do everything on your phone. But people don't know that.
Yeah. All right, so we're about to wrap it up.
Really?
Yeah.
I was enjoying this.
Forgot that there were cameras. Now we're having a DMC.
It's not really
deep meaningful conversation, bro.
Oh, deep meaningful conversation.
Yes.
I say I wrote my 3 a.m. And I 3 a.m. my DMC. Right. Hey, that's about to be my thing. Boys, let's have a DMC and
bro, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Pause.
Basic last. But
Okay.
hey, man, Andy.
Right. You worked with people from different genres, but I want to focus on hip hop. So give me 5 Zimbabwean hip hop artists that you're like, yeah, these guys, they're doing the things that need to be done in Zim hip hop. 5 Jit.
Hey, bro, I won't lie to you. This is in no particular order. I'm a fan of Bugger music. I feel like I've got every one of his songs in my, because I think Bugger music is one of those artists where there are things that I used to think about. Hey, if I put this on a song, it would sound really dope. But hey, Mazimba is very conservative, so let me not do that. And he actually does it. And then it's like, you did it. My guy, So Bugger music is really dope. Holy 10, Zokia. ASAF from Bulawayo. My guy cooks. ASAF cooks. I don't know if you know Boy Nino as well.
Yeah, I do.
From Bulawayo.
Yeah.
He's really good. I feel like sound gonna try to pop elsewhere. He said I have a feeling. I don't believe, Sun. You know Sun, right?
Yeah. Who? Sun.
Sun.
Yeah.
Former Union 5.
Union 5.
Yeah.
I was about to put him by his government.
And then Jenny Moods.
Alright, 6.
I'm going to go 50.
Yeah, bro. Let's stick to the program.
Alright, bro.
Alright. Wedzera 3.
Pani protocol.
Wedzera 3. Because what wedzera Jenny Moods. So, continue.
You know Mile?
Yeah.
Mile is really doing the thing.
Okay.
It's really doing the thing.
One more.
K-Flow.
Of course. Okay. We love it. That's a great list. Very diverse list as well.
Yeah. Would
you try a moment?
I want to 3. Natora 2. What do you do 3? But Natora 2.
Alright. 9. I was counting.
Natora 6 and 1 2 3. So 6 plus 3 each.
That you went 5.
Okay. Abangwasho unonibvunza kuinbox ndokusendera.
Alright.
Unonibvunza by next episode. Vakawanda.
So utodzoka by next episode. Okay.
Ndakutohosta. Arifunga ndikujoka. Ndakutohosta.
Right. This is great. We spoke about music, about acting, about beatboxing, about dancing. Now I want to be in your business. Because we want to know. What
does that even mean?
Do you not speak in the belly, bro? You don't even understand it.
No, I do.
Yes, so?
But this is man.
Sapani
but as we demand some talk about the camera, need to pins a busy. Baby, you.
No, so we just have to tell the people because then you never know. You might have some mega fans that are like in love with you. And then they're like, let me slide in the DMs. So we're just saying the DMs are closed.
No, I don't go kufarra music yangu nechi. We have my show. Titandare nechi. Zodana nina ngadana ne meseka. Aziti. Angazudamburira ndisi octopus. No, I do fara zangu but yeah. Ndinaye mdiwa wangu andoda. Zimwewese. That was yeah.
My pro.
My beats. My beats. Yeah.
We love to hear it.
But I come to my socials. Not only I don't post stuff from time to time.
That's what I'm saying. Where can people follow you?
Yeah.
For those that don't follow you.
Instagram, Probeatz Nation. Twitter, Probeatz Nation. Facebook, Probeatz Nation. EcoCash 0.
Alright, well, thank you so much for taking your time to come and have a conversation with me. I appreciate you. I'm excited to see Captain Mfombi season 2. To see it and to be in it.
Okay.
Yes.
You gotta be in it to win it. Yes.
Thank you so much for watching our very first episode of the CirclesCast. I didn't introduce myself. We just went into the conversation. Yeah.
No, because we're humble. Our main character syndrome. Hey, everyone has been main character in their life, but our family one a main character syndrome.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching the very first episode of the CirclesCast. We have something for you before you go.
Alright. Ah, nice. Pane ma t-shirts and champion. Pamusha unya. Like ndi fake.
Figure more post and more to take over Instagram.
Alright.
Follow us on Instagram, the CirclesCast.
Umno by G.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow Pro on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at King Charmaine _M. This was a really cool interview. Thank you for taking your time to spend Saturday together.
Time sheen.
Yeah, time sheen.
Nothing.
Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know who else you want to see on the show, and tell a friend to tell a friend to come and subscribe, because we have a lot of cool people that we're going to be talking to. But thank you so much for taking your time to watch. We will see you next time.
Say something nice. Buzo rakataka to swag.
Ayo, Pro.
You know. Our true vice, my friend Bo. Are
you ready?